According to the media report written by Douglas Fields in Scientific American, the main finding of Kinzler and DeJames' research is that children learn to stereotype speakers by the sound of their accents by age 9. Children in Illinois and Tennessee alike rank speakers with northern accents as smarter and more in charge than southern accented voices, while speakers with southern accents are ranked as nicer. Children from Illinois only recognize northern accents as belonging to American speakers, while children from Tennessee recognize both northern and southern accents as belonging to American speakers.
The reported implication of the research is that accents in the United States are accompanied by stereotypes that impact children's perception of others early in life. These stereotypes influence whom children select as friends and how they perceive themselves. This has consequences for the aspirations that children may hold in terms of education and career goals.
Kinzler and DeJames, the authors of the study in the Quarterly Journal of Experimental Psychology, are trying to support the hypothesis that children living both in southern and northern areas of the United States have learned stereotypical accent attitudes by the time they are 9 years old. The stereotypes they hold are the same stereotypes commonly held by American adults.
The independent variable is the accent of the speaker the child is made to listen to, be it northern or southern.
The dependent variable is the description that the child gives of the speaker: smart, nice, in charge, from around here, American.
The main result of the study is that 9 to 10-year-old children located in both Illinois and Tennessee evaluated speakers with northern accents as smarter and in charge, while they evaluated speakers with southern accents as nicer. These are stereotypical attitudes towards accents that are often held by American adults. These attitudes are not present in 5 to 6-year-old children who are also tested in this cross-sectional study, meaning they are acquired through societal teaching. In a geographical block, children in Illinois evaluated only northern accented speakers as being American, while children in Tennessee evaluated both northern and southern accented speakers as being American. This suggests that children living in the southern United States are more accustomed to hearing the voices of people from both sides of the country, likely because of the strong presence of northern accented people on television and in the media.
The description of the results of the research article in the media report is very accurate. The author of the media report, Douglas Fields, allows his article a comedic tone. He presents a personal anecdote about his reaction hearing Adele speak in her lowly Cockney accent for the first time after hearing her fabulous singing voice. In this, he tries to universalize and contextualize the finding of Kinzler and DeJames' research.
He prefaces the results of the study by suggesting its significance. He describes a 2011 study by Rakic, which found that people's accents were weighed more heavily than visual factors when attempting to categorize people. The author goes on to explain the findings of the study quite clearly and comprehensively. He explains the first experiment, where 5 to 6-year-old children were shown faces accompanied by audio clips that demonstrated either a northern or southern accent. He explained the 3 blocks of the study: the friendship block, the sociolinguistic block, and the geography block. He describes the results, which do not suggest that children of this age group hold stereotypical views of accented voices. He then describes the second experiment, conducted on 9 to 10-year-olds, and the ways in which these children exhibited stereotypical thinking when listening to the voices of northern and southern accented speakers.
My understanding of this research was enhanced by material discussed in the chapter on development. I was able to look at the findings through the lens of the nature versus nurture debate. The lack of stereotypical thinking in 5 to 6-year-old children and its emergence by age 9 to 10 proves that this type of prejudice is not natural and has been learned through social cues by 9 years of age. Kinzler and DeJames' study is also an example of the cross-sectional design discussed in class. 2 age groups of children were tested with the same stimuli at the same time in order to try to discern whether children hold stereotypical attitudes towards accents and at what point this develops.
The discussion of prejudice in our social psychology chapter was also enlightening when analyzing this study. It appears that 9 and 10-year-old children in both locations experience a sort of prejudice against southern accented people, who they do not consider as smart or as in charge as they do northern speakers. The stereotyping present in the study is rooted more deeply than the out-group derogation or in-group favoritism discussed in the textbook. Children in both northern and southern groups hold the same view, meaning that they don't shy away from assessing their own group negatively. This strongly held stereotype is likely an example of self-fulfilling prophecy. If children living in the southern states feel that they are less smart and in charge than their northern counterparts, they may set goals for themselves and perform in a way that reflects this. Claude Steele's concept of stereotype threat describes that disturbing possibility.
A cohort confound could exist due to the cross-sectional design of this study. A cohort effect could be occurring. It is possible that the children in the 9 to 10 group were exposed to an expression of accent attitude stereotyping that 5 to 6-year-olds were not. For example, maybe a TV show that was popular during the early years of the older group perpetuated such a stereotype.